Welcome to the VOD Squad, the show about streaming, so we can talk about everything we feel like because we want to. Hey guys, this is Matt, and I'm running the show here, which is why everything looks super janky, as you probably can tell. Say hello to Jimmy. Hi, Jimmy. We'll talk a little bit about it in a second, but I also want to say hi to Michael. Hey guys, so we were gonna have a normal show starting this week, and then Clyde gave us a last minute notice that he's like not feeling good, and that sucks. I feel sad for him. I hope he feels better. But we also have a little bit of information about the fact that I decided, hey, let me go ahead and get this show set up, and there should be no problem at all. And yeah, Skype and OBS are not working well together for me tonight, so I apologize. For example, let me just give you an example. If I don't have my mouse over the Skype window, your heads get bigger. If I click up somewhere else, it just decides to blow you up for no reason whatsoever. I hate this. I wish I could turn it off, but I cannot. So I'm going to have to struggle through that, and I apologize. It means you guys are going to have to struggle through it with me too. That's right. Michael, where have you been? Well, yeah. Really? Ooh. Nice. Very cool. No audio coming from... No! Oh, well, that's why one of the reasons why I'm running this show today is to figure out what's going on. All right, well... so that would be... Desktop audio. Desktop audio is being captured. Why? Oh, no. That... Hey, can you guys hear them now?
Test 1, 2. Is that better there, Wabbit?
I bet you anything. I fixed it.
Hopefully it did.
So,
yep. Okay. All right. Now we're on.
All right.
Here we are.
Hey, good. Jimmy, Michael, nice to see you guys. I'm really happy to see you. Michael, it's been a while since we've seen you.
Yes, I am back. I was gone for a couple of weeks. Sick last week. The week before, my daughter was doing a Taekwondo demonstration at the minor league baseball game we're here in town.
Very cool.
Oh, wow.
So that was pretty cool.
And Jimmy, you've been doing anything interesting?
No, I think last week I was in Chicago, wasn't I? Last week? Yeah, I think I was.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So this week I'm not in Chicago. I'm actually in Florida.
Which means you are literally just relaxing and enjoying your time at home.
Yeah, well, work is always there. But, yeah, it is better to be home. It's always nice not to have to get on the plane, that's for sure.
I don't blame you. I would hate having to do that much traveling by plane. That would suck.
Yeah.
Well, we should probably move on to some of the stories for this week. Let's see what's new for us today. So, we're going to start off with a story about the fact that Google has been doing a lot more of their rebranding of various things, and they've been talking about it for a while. They have officially rebranded the Google Music, what used to be called YouTube Music to Remix to now what's going to be called YouTube Music. They're also going to have a YouTube Music Premium and a standard YouTube Premium at different price levels for you to look at as well. Have you guys been looking into this?
Yeah, I'm kind of keeping an eye on it. I am a current subscriber to YouTube Red, so while my subscription will be able to continue as it is as long as I don't cancel, this is interesting to me because I get to see what other options there might be. and I'm kind of just keeping an eye on it. It looks like I basically would get the same thing with the YouTube Premium and just pay $2 more a month. So probably not going to do that right away, at least until they force me. But I'm keeping an eye on it.
Right. So go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, I'll echo a little bit of what Michael's saying there too. I'm getting more and more interested in subscribing to YouTube Red. I'm really getting interested in maybe trying that, right? And then, just a couple of bucks more to get the music as well. Hey, why not at least try it at least anyway? So, but it just makes me wonder, who are they really trying to? I mean, obviously they're going for cord cutters, right? But a lot of people probably have been listening to music over YouTube for a long time, and have never paid for it,
and they will continue not paying for it.
Exactly. So who would really buy the music service? I mean, the YouTube Red, yeah. I mean, I kind of get that. They're starting to have their own content on there as well. So. I kind of get that. I'm just not so sure about the music part, but
right.
Hey, it is Google behind it, so maybe they don't really care all that much, if they make a lot of money off of it or not, right?
To me, this is exactly them realizing that there are people like me out there. I actually subscribe to YouTube Red mostly for two reasons, kind of. One is that my kids watch YouTube stuff, and the commercials were annoying to them and to us. And sometimes they were not like inappropriate, but not appropriately targeted, right? Like feel good fresh woman commercials for my kids, like that's not necessary. Sexual performance commercials for my kids while they're watching. So, those and the commercials weren't like crude or like grossly inappropriate, but they were suggestive, and so that was annoying. But also, I listened to a lot of music on YouTube at work, and so that being the case, I didn't like having commercials just popping up between shows. So I got a kind of a 2-for-1, and I do almost all of my music listening on YouTube, like actually YouTube, not Google Music, which I do get through this, but actually on YouTube. So
here's one interesting thing about this is that it's very clear to me that Google has messed up their messaging once again, because there's always has been, and there always sounds like there will be, an ad-supported version of YouTube Music that's going to be free. So you asked who's going to pay for this? Well, anybody who doesn't want the ads. But there's going to be plenty of people who will be happy to listen to this with the ads and continue getting it for free, like they always have. Then you have the YouTube Premium, which is what's replacing YouTube Red. It's kind of weird. Why would I want to buy that? Well, I'm confused mostly because I'm a YouTube Music person, and not YouTube Music, Google Play Music person. Again, way too many products here. And I buy the family pack. I get the family pack of that, which means I can give that to 5 other accounts, and they all also get YouTube Red, no commercials, and access to the premium channels with that for the same family package price. So according to Google, nothing's changing for me right now. So I don't know. I'm definitely not moving at this point. But it's totally confusing of what you get for what. I mean, the various options are still out there, and so it feels like they just need to clarify things up for us. I mean, better than they have so far. One blog post.
You bring up a good point about something there, and it is that I don't remember seeing anywhere in the couple of articles of branding that I've about this rebrand that I've seen where it talks about Google Music or Google Red for families. I also do the family thing so that, because my daughters, I don't want to get a bunch of like Taylor Swift recommendations. I listen to mostly heavy metal and occasionally a little bit of other stuff. But so I prefer not to get like just all Taylor Swift and Disney princess music and stuff like that in my music recommendations. And because I have my own account, it recommends, the podcasts that I like to watch, the music that I like to listen to, and it does a pretty good job of that. And at the same time, it has an account. I have a separate account for my daughter and a separate account for my wife. And that works out really well for us. But I don't see anything about the branding or in these branding and pricing packages that talk about family accounts like that. Have you seen that?
Not a word. But they did on Twitter announce the Google Play Music update, saying that they basically aren't touching that just yet. That's basically the only thing they've confirmed. And that's it. So no more news. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's doesn't seem like a good I need somebody to come out and say, hey, here's what's happening. If you have Google Play Music, your music is staying. Eventually the streaming service is going away, but your music will stay there. You'll always be able to get it. Great. Maybe that's what happened. And then they will say, if you are a YouTube Red provider, you are going to have to get upgraded to YouTube Premium, and maybe you get the free. The update is free for, no additional cost for you for some time, and eventually they'll grandfather you into the new pay. Somebody needs to explain all of these different programs and how this new solution is going to work for people. So right now it doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to move on to the new YouTube Artist on the Rise. It's a new show that apparently they've been working on and doing for a little while. But the Artist on the Rise is a featurette that they put out for users out to find out about new and upcoming artists that are being hosted on YouTube. And now that they're going to be turning it into a once-a-month show, so making regular episodes. Very cool.
So is this kind of like a documentary type show? Is that what it would be?
So it's more like, hey, here's a new artist that's out there that will be that has some kind of that's been trying to make it big, and we're gonna go ahead and feature them about maybe one or two of their songs, about what they sound like, and they're hosted on YouTube, and hopefully they make it big there and thus make it big everywhere. And so.
Yeah, this kind of thing is always really cool. I wish that I hope that they do a good job of mixing up a variety of like the kinds of recommendations that they give, that it's not always just the same genre and stuff like that. But this kind of stuff's always cool. It's great to be introduced to new musicians and artists that you don't know, and good to give people an opportunity to succeed.
I agree.
Yeah. I like it.
Again, I'd like to apologize up front for the amount of trouble that I'm having with Skype here, because it is a real pain in the butt. Okay, Crowncast users can now skip those intro videos that come up when you start watching a show on Netflix, which means basically if you're on your phone and you decide to watch a Netflix show, cast it up to your Chromecast, and oftentimes they'll put those pre-rolls on. You can now skip those right on the app. It looks like this is at first going to be available for the Android, and they're going to be bringing it out to all the other platforms, mostly iOS.
A little confused about skip those. You mean choose not to play it? Is that what you mean?
From what I understand, you were going to be whenever you start a video from Netflix, if a pre-roll set up for it, it's going to start the pre-roll. Mm-hmm. You will then be able to basically hit the skip button on your device, and it skips right to the show.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So let's say
right.
it decides to give you kind of hey, it doesn't show on Netflix. Here you go.
So Chromecast never gives you the option to just play it?
Well, just remember the Chromecast is from your device, so you must have a phone or something, and you must go ahead and select what you want to play and send it off to the video. And I'm sure it would just play it if there's no pre-roll set up on that. But if there is, it will now allow you to
Oh, I see what you're saying.
There are probably some videos that have pre-rolls on them by whatever reason. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I love this feature personally. I use it all the time, especially when you're binging. It's super annoying to watch like a sitcom or like a 30-minute show and have like 30 seconds of the exact same content, and especially the Netflix originals, the Marvel shows, their intros are really long. Like they're like 30 to 45 seconds long, and so it's super annoying to like say when I was binging Iron Fist, you sit there and watch 2 minutes of the show and then like almost a minute of intro and then the rest of the show. And if you're watching 3 or 4 episodes in a row, that gets super annoying. But they add that, and so you just hit OK, and it just skips the whole 45 seconds.
So I'm misunderstanding. It's what I thought was that they literally put a pre-roll, like an ad for another show in front. What you're saying is this is a skip for like the after the title screen for Stranger Things.
It's the minute, it's the 30 seconds where they show like. For Iron Fist, it's a montage of him doing martial arts while they show the credits on the scene, and then it concludes with the title scene and goes into the show. Okay. So most shows have this little credit roll at the beginning, and this saves you that time. And
the intro you're talking about, which I mean, for me, I mean. I'm usually watching it on Apple TV. I've always had a skip button there.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, exactly. And Chromecast didn't have that until just now. The other thing that I've started to see on some shows, not all shows, but that I absolutely love is the skip the recap, which because often the recap can also be another like 30 seconds in addition or minute or more in addition to that credit roll. And so you've got 30 seconds of credit roll, 2 minutes of recap to get you caught back up. But if you've been binging, you don't need a recap. So it's just annoying. It's awesome. I love those two features.
Yeah, that is great if you're binging. Of course, me, I hardly ever get to binge all that much. So there may be a few. Yeah, recap's important for me, right? Because it might be a few days since I've watched the last episode, right?
Right.
But binging, yeah, I agree with that. If you're binging, yeah, there should be a skip button there.
All right. Moving on, we have a story here about the fact that Amazon went ahead and is rumored to have picked up The Expanse, since obviously Clyde must have liked it, and so Sci-Fi canceled it.
Yeah, they can't cancel it if they don't own it, so they got to buy it. Run it for a season and then cancel.
Amazon is going to cancel it for Clyde next season. Is that what you're thinking? Just for him.
Well, this makes sense because I mean they were on Amazon Prime already, right? Right. After it would run on the Sci-Fi channel, then it would the previous season would be on Amazon. So it makes sense for them to buy it, right? Because it was already there.
Very cool.
Yeah, apparently this is one of Jeff Bezos's favorite properties. So
really,
he's a huge fan of the books and was really unhappy that Sci-Fi got access to this instead of them. And so in the end, he wins and gets to have it.
In the end, he says, "Oh, you're canceling that, are you? Let me just go ahead and open up my wallet and see what kind of loose change I have in there. That might pay for like 2 or 3 seasons. Yeah, let's do that."
So he just basically did a Gavin Belson there, huh?
Okay, you're gonna have to fill me in. Who's Gavin Belson?
That is the fake CEO on the HBO sitcom Silicon Valley.
Ah, see, I need to watch that. I have not seen
that
at all.
Yeah, you should watch that, but not with your kids.
Okay. Somebody make that a show title. All right. So next we have the Twitter app. If you've ever been using the Twitter app on your various set-top boxes, like the Dish, the Roku or either Android or even the Xbox, you might notice that it's not there anymore. It looks like that they have decided to kill that project on those boxes. But interestingly enough, it's still available on devices like the Apple TV and the Fire Sticks. Anybody ever watch anything on the Twitter app?
I watched Bloomberg one time, I think, on the Twitter app.
See, I think Twitter seriously
When,
needs to change their how they do their video. But what were you gonna say, Michael?
but what do you mean by on the Twitter app? On the Twitter app on your phone, or on the Twitter app on your Apple TV?
It was it was actually on my computer.
Okay, on your computer.
Yes.
So I mean, I've watched some videos, mostly things that friends have linked or whatever on through the Twitter app, but never actually watched the content that they're streaming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, so I've never watched anything on the Twitter app, but here's what I think they should have done a long time ago. I think they should have dropped this pretext of them being, any kind of place where you watch a baseball game or football game. Nobody really thinks about Twitter to do that, or any kind of little minor thing. What they needed to be is they needed to be that news team on the ground, another person with a microphone standing in front of the big event, and with their Twitter feed related to that event flowing right on the side of their stream. So you could have been there and you could contribute and feel like you could be part of the story if you could say things and be, helpful there. If they were that kind of a video feed and not all the time, they don't need to be 24 hours, just when the big thing happens.
Right.
Go do that.
Yeah.
I'd I'd say, hey, something big's happening. Let's go to Twitter. And then a guy says, hey, we don't have live feed from the event yet, but we're getting all these different kind of Twitter feed people saying these big things are happening. We're trying to get somebody on the ground here. Stay tuned. And I'd be glued to that because this big thing's happening and they're running to it. I know that they're going for it. I'd be
I don't know why Twitter never did partner with one of the big, news channels, to do that, or maybe partner with all of them, right? Give all of them a chance to break in there live, on the Twitter feed.
That would be amazing, but they don't listen to us. They should listen to the show and become a sponsor.
Well, I mean, something like the local guides for Google, right? Like that would work extremely well. Also, it's like get like individuals, like just standard community members that happen to use the Twitter app that have done a lot of videos or whatever and built up a little bit of a reputation. You become a local guide. Once you get to like tier 3 or something like that, now you can do streaming events and you can put up, oh, this is a big news story that I happen to be in sight of. Mm-hmm. Here's what's going on. And it would be something that would come right up. So totally. I think it'd be interesting.
Totally.
Yeah, and here's another idea for you, Twitter. Why don't you team up with the sports teams, and especially during playoff times, and when fans want to see a replay on a particular play, why not just offer a service to where they could watch the replays? Right? Cool. Wouldn't that be a good idea?
They should also be on all the red carpets doing the big shows and the big announcements. They should be there for all those things.
Yes, I mean, there's plenty of good ideas you could do with Twitter, but they don't seem to. I don't know, for some reason they can't or won't do those kind of things.
I think that it's that shift in mindset from the newscaster mentality of we have to employ an army of contractors and newscasters and whatever and cameramen and stuff, to the concept to the it's the word for some reason is escaping me right now, to the crowdsourced model like Google is using to populate Google Maps and everything. And you utilize that crowdsourcing model and do some sort of ranking system. Like again, Google's local guide thing is great. It has a rating on the guides. So the guides that have a higher rating, they get more they get more offerings, they get more recommendations from Google to help make everything that much better.
All right. Well, yeah, hey, Twitter, if you decide that, maybe you don't want to sponsor the show, maybe you could just send us a consulting fee for giving you such good ideas. We'll take it. Sure. It's only a couple $100,000. We'll be fine.
Yeah. Or a cup of coffee.
Yeah, that's true. I'd take a cup of coffee. Although I don't like coffee, but if it's I wouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth, so. I'll take it. All right, moving on. There's a new version of the Dish Air TV. There was an Air TV before, but now this is a new version, which allows you to connect itself to an over-the-air antenna and then be able to stream any of your over-the-air channels throughout your house on any device that can access the Sling TV app. I love it when Dish TV tries to be innovative and tries to break the mold and tries to do things that we think that's not going to make them why would they do that? That's not that really for their business model. But no, they do it anyways. Anything from the old Hopper thing that they did a long time ago, automatically skipping commercials, to actually breaking into the streaming TV service with Sling TV. So I love it when I see them try to do something cool like this.
So are they charging for that service?
I believe they're charging for the box, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, you just pay the $120 for the box, right? I suspect there is some sort of membership fee associated with the guide if you don't have like Sling.
That's true. There could be. But probably if you are already a Sling customer, they probably count that against it. So either reduce or no cost for the guide with that, which would make sense. Especially since you can get almost all that information for free now on internet databases.
Yeah. No, I mean, the article, I found the spot that I was reading about, and the article says it doesn't cost an extra monthly fee for that. Now, so
the only other thing is that does it have a DVR function for the OTA? I did not see that.
Yeah, I mean, well, it allows it broadcasts it.
Right.
It doesn't DVR it that I saw, but it broadcasts it to all your other devices, right? So yeah, you can't record it, but you can view it on any device in your house, multiple devices simultaneously.
Thinking
so
about that.
It's a nice feature, especially like most houses. You have like one place where you can get good antenna service, right?
Right.
Or maybe a couple of places, but you have TVs in places that you can't get good antenna service. So you have the option of like hooking up a big antenna like on the roof or whatever. In some places you can't even do that. And you just don't get good reception on those TVs, right? Mm-hmm. So this alleviates that, right? Like you can put this box where you have good service for your antenna, and then you can stream it throughout the house.
That's awesome, actually. I think that's a really cool idea. All right, and we have one more. It looks like that Nielsen is now looking at YouTube.tv feeds as part of their way of counting videos. This means this joins a couple of the other streaming services, I believe, where they're going to be looking at more of the online usage of these over the internet cable streaming solutions as different Nielsen ratings sources for them. So this is a good news for us. This is more information saying that the cable cutting is real and it's happening, and there's not much anybody can do about it. It's going to stick here forever now.
Yep, I agree. Amazing that we're here now, right? Just maybe
2 years ago.
Maybe when we started this show, right? You wouldn't have thought this.
When we started this show, we had Sling available to us. I know that. What else did we have?
Yeah. I mean, the big thing was when we started this show that all of the cable channels still claimed that they weren't losing members.
Right?
It was a fad. It wasn't gonna be a big deal, and now they've all subsequently tried to find a way to compete with this obvious threat to their existence, and obviously companies like Nielsen need to do this. Mm-hmm. If they want to stay relevant, at the same time, they become less and less relevant inherently because all of these companies already have all of the data. Where Nielsen provides a sampling of users in various markets and give you a rough idea of who's watching what. These service providers know exactly how many people are watching every single show, how long they watch it, how often they flip channels, all of the details. So Nielsen is potentially completely irrelevant at this point for any kind of streaming service. I wonder how much use they're going to get out of this in the next few years, because I don't see it actually being making sense for broadcasters, right? Like, why would I pay Nielsen to give me ratings on YouTube TV when I could potentially pay YouTube TV probably less money to get exactly who's watching my show at a given time, right?
Right.
And far more details than Nielsen can give you, because Nielsen doesn't have like actual eyes on the TV, right?
Nope.
It doesn't know that you are interacting with other parts of the page, and when you're leaving to switching channels and stuff like that. I mean, I guess it knows switching channels and stuff, but you can get a broader view, I think, by understanding like the different apps and things like that.
That's true. I mean, for as far as I know, Nielsen still does the paper survey, don't they? Sometimes, or this they're going to get electronic here.
Well, Nielsen does the box thing, right? So, like, if you're a Nielsen family, you get a Nielsen box that hooks up into your home.
Okay.
And so it like legitimately knows when you flip the channel and how long it's on and stuff like that. But it's still not.
But that's just for traditional cable. That's just for traditional cable. That wouldn't hold true for cord cutters, right?
Yeah. I expect not. I don't know how it would work for these types of services. And maybe Nielsen is aggregating data that they get directly from YouTube TV. I don't know how that works, but yeah, with the with the normal box, it's like a box, and so, but they don't know if you walk away, right? Like if you leave the TV on for 5 hours and you walk away. I mean, maybe they make assumptions. I don't know how they handle that kind of thing. But you know, like Netflix asks you, or YouTube asks you, hey, you haven't touched the remote or the keyboard or mouse in an hour. Are you still watching? And it'll shut off if you don't respond to that message.
Right.
All right, guys, we're listening to the news this week, but now we're going to move on to a little bit of draft info.
Welcome to your BT Movie Draft Minute, presented by DiamondClub.tv for the week of May 21st, 2018. I'm your host, Big Voice Jay. Daddy needs to express some rage. Where'd I put those chimichangas? But first, the scoreboard. Team Devon Squad's in last place, waiting for their first film. Team Walking Drunk is in 5th place with $37.8 million. Team Movie Party's in 4th place, thanks to Book Club bringing their total to $107.9 million. Team Game Night's in 3rd place, with Deadpool 2's 9-figure debut, surprise, bringing their total to $205.3 million. Team Ritual Misery's in 2nd place with $342.9 million. And continuing their reign above all, it's Team Have a Drink with $677.5 million. That's your Movie Draft Minute. All totals are accurate as of 6 p.m. Central, Wednesday, May 23rd, 2018.
So, you guys, it's been an amazing last couple of weeks, I gotta tell you. I mean,
how are we doing?
Oh, we're in last place.
Wait, what? We're gonna love the waiting game. We're still hiding in the shadows.
The biggest comeback in history.
Maybe. We'll see.
Use that backstab damage from our rogue skills.
I don't know if that's how it works.
I think Skyscraper's going to pull us through.
You know, I still have hope that we're going to do really well. The big question this week, well, first of all, let's talk about last week, the fact that we had a pretty good showing from Deadpool 2, which is, which did pretty well. The question is, does it have staying power to really earn some good bucks for the teams there? But for this week, the big question is Solo. And the question, of course, is it going to be making the kind of money that Rogue One made, or is it going to be less than that? We've heard mixed results from various people. I've heard reports saying that on the Hollywood Reporter saying they think they're going to make $130 million this opening weekend, which isn't bad. But again, it requires staying power for it to keep going and make a lot more money back. And maybe they'll make more than that, so who knows? We'll see what happens. And then, finally, after that, we can make it onto the board. And I am wondering, seriously, if Hereditary is this like sleeper hit for us and just like pushes us right over the top. I don't know. Maybe not.
The only after we did our thing, I felt pretty good about the movies we got. We got a fair variety of movies that I think are all going to do well. None of them are going to do amazing, but I think they're all going to do well, and I think that could give us the win. However, I didn't realize when we got them that we have two movies starting the same weekend.
Yeah, and
that I think was our biggest mistake, because we're betting against ourselves in that scenario.
That is true, but remember, Hereditary was a mistake of my part. And I'm hoping it's a good mistake, quite frankly. But it was a mistake on my part. I'm hoping it's really a good mistake. But I was trying to get Clyde to pay a little bit more money to buy it himself, because I didn't think it was.
Yeah. But we were trying to pump and dump, and he was trying to pump and dump, and he dumped quicker than we did.
It's the exact opposite of playing chicken. He ducked first.
But the one silver lining to wrap around that dark cloud is that isn't that the first weekend that school is out? So maybe there'll be more tickets bought.
Maybe.
Also, I think it's also extremely possible that while we may not make Avengers 2 numbers, I seriously think that Jurassic Park will do very well like the last one and make a boatload of money, $500 million or plus, out of that movie. I really think it's going to be big.
Yeah,
I think so too.
I think it'll do very well. I go see Solo tomorrow night. I'll let you know after that whether or not I think it's gonna make it.
I don't know. Everybody's talking about Orlando, or not Orlando.
Lando Calrissian.
Yeah. And he steals the show.
People are loving him in the movie. So it may be a Solo movie that people go to see because Lando Calrissian's like one of the most interesting characters in the series, right?
Maybe.
So, and if that's how it is, then that's how it is. Lando is a very interesting character, and I'm glad that he's going to get a major part in this movie. I think that it wouldn't be a good Han Solo, like young Han Solo movie without a good Lando Calrissian. So we'll see. I think it'll be interesting. I see Lando being the kind of character that could support a series.
Right.
So the TV show Lando or something like that. But
that's true.
See what happens.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and move on to All right, I think it's pretty clear what I'm going to be ranting and raving about. I would like one of you guys to go first, though.
I can go first. I'll talk. We were talking earlier about favorite shows on Netflix, and I have a couple recent things that I've watched. One that I've finished watching, and one that I am currently watching. The one that I finished this past weekend was a series called Safe. That it was a British series and a very, very interesting little mini series. I think there's about 9 episodes. I want to say that might not be right, but it's somewhere around that neighborhood. 9 episodes, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat. If you like mysteries and that kind of thing, then definitely you'll like this. I definitely recommend it, and check out Safe. Another one that I have started watching. Me and my wife started watching this one. I heard it mentioned on Cord Killers some time ago, but we're just now getting around to watching it. and it's a show called 13 Reasons Why. Don't want to spoil anything for it. It is a
spin-off, isn't it?
I don't think it's a spin-off. Okay. No, this is an original Netflix, is what it is, and it has a young audience. It's it's high school kids of today, and I guess one reason why I kind of like it. I mean, it's a good. It too is a mystery, right? Sort of. It's got a little tragedy in there, and what else can I say? Oh, and the one thing I do like about it it plays a lot of new wave music in there, right? Which new wave was popular when I was in college, right? So I kind of like it when I hear that. So
all right, that's all right. Well,
so I recommend both of those, Safe and 13 Reasons Why. And Jackie says that she actually started watching season 2 of that. I'm still in season 1, hadn't finished that yet. I think I'm about 5 episodes in. And liking it so far.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What have you, Michael?
I just finished. I like I said, I've been sick with the allergies and stuff, so I haven't gone out of the house that much, which actually was to my detriment. Little did I know. But I was allergic to flowers that were in my house. I realized that until after about 5 days of suffering. But anyways, so I was staying in my house quite a bit, trying to avoid the allergens that were outside. And I binged through 2 seasons of The Magicians in about 3 days. It's The Magicians, if you're not aware, is a sci-fi show. And it is about a group of, college-age kids that are going to a college for magic, for magicians, for people that have access to real magic. And it's, in the vein of like Supernatural or, it's about magic and, enchanted creatures. There's a little bit of like Chronicles of Narnia crossed with something very, very dark and not at all happy and cheerful like Chronicles of Narnia. But it's got a lot of really interesting things and fantasy worlds and magic, and it's supernatural horror type thriller suspense. I really enjoyed the 2 seasons. It's definitely dark, but it's a lot of fun.
Very cool.
Really.
Oh, good deal. I have to check that one out.
All right. Well, for me, I was trying to figure out what I was going to rant about this week because, last weekend, my weeks are, I get up, I go to work, I come home, we do dinner, we sit down, and we do nothing. Let's go to bed. And I try to, get some work done in the middle of the night, and I'd play a little bit of video games in the middle of the night. Recently, it's been Star Wars Battlefront. Some of the space battle stuff has just been, it's a great escape for me. I really enjoy it. But I'm totally going to rant about how Skype, this new version of Skype, and how it resizes the windows depending on where your mouse cursor is. If I put my mouse somewhere else, it just shifts videos. If it'll blow up videos here, I can't force it to stay one way and not have it adjust. I mean, that's stupid. Stupid, Microsoft. What are you doing here? And if this, I wasn't able to pick up the Skype window because when I tried to pick up the Skype window on my OBS here, it wouldn't see it at all. It'd see a black screen, so I'm literally having to do a full screen capture and to make this happen right now. Let me put it this way: I know Skype is working on making this better for podcasters, and I can't wait because this sucks. Clyde, I miss you because you seem to make this go so well and so smoothly. You're awesome, and happy to step in. No problem. Happy to do it. If I'm gonna do it though, I'm gonna totally spend like a whole evening figuring out all these warp bugs and all that again before next time. So.
Yeah, happy to do it. Just don't ever get sick on a Wednesday again.
No, it's okay. You can. It's fine. It's totally cool. No, that's not the point. The point is that Skype is a problem, and I don't like it. And I put the blame directly on Skype in this case. So, all right. Well, that's it for us, guys. I hope you guys had fun with like we did. I hope chat room was reasonable tonight, because I did not look at anything in chat tonight. Unfortunately, I was unable to bring it up at all. Why don't you guys?
And thank you, W. Scottins, for those 50 bits.
Ooh, yeah. Thank you. I'm sorry, I don't have any animations up either, so I can't do that. You guys can catch up to us anytime on twitch.tv/TheVodSquad. Of course, you can reach us on Twitter @TheVodSquad. And it was very nice to see you guys this week, and we hope to see you again next week at about 7 p.m. Pacific time, and that's about, what is it? What time is that for you guys over on the East Coast?
On the East Coast is 10 o'clock at night.
10 p.m. at night on Eastern time. So, hope to hear from you guys soon, and hope to see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.